Alright, welcome back to the Crypto Bulletin, and today we are going to look again at some articles on Ripple. There has been some news lately, and it's quite interesting what they have to say. So here, the first article is from 2019, a prediction that they see Ripple pull away from the rest of crypto. But they also lay down some requirements, so what is actually needed in order for Ripple to pull away. So history has shown that the prices of Ripple are somewhat related to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up, Ripple goes up as well. And Ripple's coin value will depend on institutional adoption, which got a big boost this week with an announcement. So I've covered that in a different video. If you haven't seen it, I link it down below in the description. But one thing that is a threat to Ripple is if people stop calling it a cryptocurrency, and that also depends on regulation. But to be honest, that probably is not going to happen. It will probably stay a cryptocurrency. But it is interesting what's going to happen. It needs to pull away from the Bitcoin momentum. So when Bitcoin goes up, Ripple goes up, and vice versa. It needs to change because Ripple often has very well developments, is progressing quite a bit, but the price is still made and quite constant. But we've also seen that it does not always move alongside to Bitcoin. If you look at, for example, 2017, it was at 20 to 22 cents for a long while, even when Bitcoin moved up and down. So for 2019, it's important that Ripple pulls away from Bitcoin and starts to fare its own course. Now we have an article from Business Insider mentioning the top terms searched for on Google by Americans. And on number 4, it was how to buy Ripple. Now obviously Ripple has been in the news quite a bit, and their perception goes up, people know about it, but then people start to interest in how can you actually buy it. Again, in a previous video we saw that Bitcoin was quite high in this list worldwide as well, but now Ripple, top 4 America, really good for mainstream adoption again, and the more people that buy Ripple, the better the price will be. Here we have an interesting article. It states the next support and resistance targets for Ripple. So if it goes down, you have a support barrier, so to say. If it goes to that price, then people will again buy Ripple for that price, meaning it won't go lower because of increased volume. So this one, they already broke. They went below this. So the next one to look out for is this one, 27 cents basically, and then it goes lower until 22 cents, and this is basically where it was in 2017. Now resistance is when it goes up, so at these targets people typically tend to sell their Ripple and make a little bit of profit. So the next one is 31 cents, and in order to go on a bull break you basically have to break this one. Here we have an article saying that Donald Trump has announced that he will be naming Mick Mulvaney as the new acting White House Chief of Staff. And now this guy is known to be a Bitcoin supporter and has previously expressed that he's in favor of blockchain technology. Now you may think, yeah, Bitcoin supporter, how is this relevant for Ripple? Well, if you paid attention to news some couple months ago, we saw this article. White House support for Ripple. What's next for Ripple and American dollar? Now you may think, why would the United States have a particular interest in Ripple? That's basically because China has a large share of Bitcoin. Bitcoin obviously is mineable, the same for Ethereum, and China has invested a lot to mine Bitcoin, and they approximately have 70% of Bitcoin, is what people believe. So then, should Bitcoin go up a lot, China will be significantly richer than the United States. So then they looked at Ripple. Because Ripple is not mineable, it doesn't mean that one country has all the power. if they have a lot of Ripple, because yeah, China now has a head start in Bitcoin and it's hard to pull them off the throne. But this is an interesting development. It shows that the government is moving more towards blockchain side. It also is favorable for regulation in the future, and it also means that adoption should be easier. There should be less obstacles, less costs as well, in order to convince the government, lobbying for example. Interesting, let's see where this goes. And here we have an article by Forbes, Culling Unstable Coins, Crypto Correction or Market Crash. And I believe they say that the market is going down in order to drive away all the shit coins, basically. So yeah, the majority of the coins that are listed now are useless. Some are superior to other technologies, but adoption also plays a key part. Financial elements are important. These coins can't survive forever. And all the other coins are just useless anyway, and some of them are even scams. And this correction is mainly, as they say, designed to throw those out of the market, but also to pull away all the people out of the market that do not belong there, because in the hype when Bitcoin was at its peak, a lot of people stepped in that really don't have any knowledge. By having this crypto correction or market crash, institutions can take profit by buying at a very low price before it goes up again. So yeah, should this bear market come to an end, then institutions have bought a lot of cryptocurrencies at a low price and can then sell it for more again later. And here we have Brett Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, and he quotes Lagarde, and Lagarde is the director of International Monetary Fund, so quite a knowledgeable person. And she says that at least 15 central banks are serious about getting into digital currency, and that money is changing. Digital assets do not only help to solve the financial inclusion problem, but also the very real issue of fractured global payment system. It just makes sense that central banks would lean in. And this is just what I mentioned before. Institutions, banks, they are all getting aboard this crypto train. Some are even keeping it a secret. They don't want the normal people to get in, so to say, because the profit that is possible to grab here is significant, and you can't have millionaires walking around everywhere. But then again, it's just what some speculative news outlets say. So this was for entertainment purposes only. Do not take this as financial advice, but news can obviously be used to increase your knowledge regarding the, Ripple, for example. So thank you for listening. This was the Crypto Bulletin. Please like and subscribe.